Class 12th, Subject Physics, 14th chapter, Dual Nature of Radiation and Matter. From this chapter, let us see the properties of photoelectric effect experiment. So, when the experiment was carried on related with the photoelectric effect, some of the observations were observed, and these observations are as follows. The first observation, which is related with the effect of frequency of incident radiation. Effect of frequency of incident radiation. So, when ultraviolet radiation was incident on the emitter plate, the current I was created or recorded even if the intensity of radiation was very low. Then the photocurrent I was observed only if the frequency of incident radiation was more than certain frequency called as threshold frequency nu 0. So the photocurrent will be set up in that circuit only when the frequency of incident radiation is greater than the threshold frequency nu 0. The threshold frequency was same for the same metals and it is different for different metals. For a given frequency nu, that is nu greater than nu 0, the photocurrent will be started, that is photocurrent will be set up in the circuit, and therefore this condition will be very important, that is for a given frequency nu, that is nu must be greater than nu 0, that is frequency of incident radiation must be always greater than the threshold frequency, then and then the photocurrent will be set up in that circuit, that is photocurrent will flow through that circuit. Now let us see the second observation, that is photoelectric effect is the instantaneous process. The photoelectric effect is instantaneous process, that is there was no time lag between the incidence of that radiation. There will be no any time lag between the incidence of light and the emission of the electrons. That is, as soon as the radiation is incident on the emitter, at the same moment there will be emission of the electrons. Then the photocurrent started flowing instantaneously on shining that emitter with the help of given radiation, even if the intensity of radiation is low. That means whatever may be the intensity of the incident radiation, as soon as that radiation is incident with a frequency greater than threshold frequency on the emitter, at the same time, at the same instant, that is instantaneously, the photoelectrons will be emitted and hence the photocurrent will start flowing through that circuit. As soon as the incident radiation was stopped, if it is disturbed, then the flow of current was stopped. So we can say that as soon as that emitter is shine with the help of the radiation, that is radiations are incident on that emitter, for that time only the photoelectrons will be emitted and hence photocurrent will be set up. But as soon as that radiation was stopped, the current will also stop. Then the third observation is the effect of intensity of incident radiation. Effect of intensity of the incident radiation. So keeping the frequency of incident radiation nu of the incident radiation and the accelerating potential phi to be fixed. So in this case, if the frequency nu of the incident radiation and the accelerating potential phi both are kept fixed, and if the intensity of incident radiation was increased, then it was observed that the photocurrent is also increased, and therefore we can say that as the intensity of that radiation is increased, keeping its frequency and alternating potential fixed, there will be increase in the intensity, that is there will be increase or linear increase in the photocurrent. Photocurrent will increase linearly with time, and therefore if we plot the graph of photocurrent against intensity of incident radiation, intensity of incident radiation is along x-axis, photocurrent is along y-axis. At that time, the frequency nu and the accelerating potential phi both are kept constant. At that time, the photocurrent will linearly vary with this intensity of incident radiation. So there is a linear variation between the photocurrent and the intensity of incident radiation. Then fourth observation was related with effect of potential difference. Effect of potential, that is accelerating potential. What will be the effect of that accelerating potential? That we will have to study, and therefore in this case the photocurrent I could be varied by changing the potential of the collector plate. So if we change the potential of the collector plate, then the photocurrent I will be automatically changed. Then the current was independent of accelerating potential phi. The current was independent of the accelerating potential difference phi for given incident radiation. Now initially the current increased with voltage, but then it remained constant, and this current is called as the saturation current I0. So if you consider this variation here of photocurrent against the potential, towards left of this O there will be retarding potential, that is decreasing potential. Towards right of O there will be accelerating potential, that is increasing potential. And if we plot the graph of photocurrent against the potential, then at that time it will be observed that first of all, as potential is increased, the photocurrent will go on increasing, then it will reach to its maximum value and will remain constant. So there will be small value of I0, that is saturation current will be minimum when intensity of incident radiation is low. Then I0, that is saturation current, will be maximum when intensity of incident radiation is high. So these currents will represent the saturation current, that is maximum value of current. So in this way the variation of photocurrent against the potential will be shown. Then let us see the fifth observation that gives relation between intensity and saturation current. Relation between intensity and saturation current will be given. So in this case, keeping the accelerating voltage and incident frequency fixed. So in this case, accelerating voltage and incident frequency both will be kept fixed, both will be kept constant, and if the intensity of incident radiation was increased, if the intensity of incident radiation was increased, at that time the value of saturation current also increases proportionately. So in this case, as intensity of incident radiation is increased in the same proportion, now the saturation current will increase. Then sixth observation was the maximum kinetic energy of photoelectrons. It is related with maximum kinetic energy of photoelectrons, which is Ke max. So the maximum kinetic energy, that is Ke max, of electrons depended on the potential phi for a given metal used for the emitter plate. So the maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons will depend upon the potential phi for a given metal used for the emitter plate and for a given frequency of incident radiation So the maximum kinetic energy will depend upon the potential phi. If the material is changed, if the material of the emitter is now changed, then the frequency of incident radiation is changed. Again, frequency of incident radiation is changed, and kinetic energy, that is the maximum kinetic energy, will be changed. So if we change the material of the emitter as well as the frequency of incident radiation, then automatically maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons will get changed. Then kinetic energy, that is maximum kinetic energy, did not depend on the intensity of incident radiation. The maximum kinetic energy of these photoelectrons will not be depending upon the intensity of incident radiation. It will only depend upon the potential applied to that emitter plate. Then seventh observation is cutoff or stopping potential. What is that cutoff potential or stopping potential will be given by this seventh observation. So if increasing negative potential, that is decreasing positive potential. So if increasing negative potential was applied to the collector, that is retarding potential will be applied to the collector plate, then the photocurrent decreases, and for some typical value phi 0, the photocurrent will become equal to 0. The potential phi 0 was termed as the cutoff or stopping potential. That potential phi 0 at which the photocurrent becomes equal to 0, that negative or retarding potential will be called as stopping potential. And if you consider this stopping potential, then that stopping potential will indicate, it will denote or indicate that when the potential was retarding, when potential was decreasing, the photoelectron still had enough energy to overcome retarding electric field. That means even if the retarding potential is applied to the emitter, still there will be emission of the electrons and it will reach to the collector plate. So for retarding potential also there will be emission of the electrons, and these emitted electrons will reach to the collector plate. The stopping potential phi 0 is different for different materials. It is different for different materials. So if you consider this diagram here, so in this diagram, this will be the retarding potential and this will be the accelerating potential. First of all, accelerating potential will be applied to the emitter plate. At that time current will be maximum. So as we go towards left, that is we are decreasing the potential applied, at that time the current will go on decreasing. And now next observation is which gives the relation between frequency and stopping potential. The relation between the frequency and stopping potential will be given by this figure, and therefore if the frequency of incident radiation was changed keeping intensity and accelerating potential constant, So in this case, if the frequency of incident radiation was changed keeping intensity and accelerating potential constant, then the saturation current remains the same. The saturation current remains the same, but stopping potential gets changed. So in this case, frequency of incident radiation was changed keeping intensity and potential constant. So here frequency changed as nu1, nu2, nu3. So at that time, the saturation current remains the same for all these frequencies, but here the stopping potentials are changed for different frequencies. And therefore, if you plot the graph of photocurrent against potential for different frequencies, at that time the nature of the graph will be as shown. For all the frequencies, saturation current is I0 is the same, but these cutoff or stopping potentials will be different for these different frequencies. For this frequency nu1, it is for nu2, it is for nu3. So in this way, if the frequency of incident radiation was changed keeping intensity and accelerating potential to be constant, the saturation current remains the same and the stopping potential will get changed. The stopping potential varies linearly with frequency of incident radiation. And now let us consider the next one observation, that is ninth observation, which gives the photocurrent depends on intensity of incident radiation. The photocurrent depends upon intensity of incident radiation. Already we have seen it, and therefore if you plot the graph of the stopping potential phi0 against the incident frequency nu, this will represent the frequency of incident radiation. It is plotted along x-axis, and the stopping potential or cutoff potential will be plotted along y-axis. At that time, for different metals, this is the graph for metal A, this is the graph for metal B. So in this case, the graph of stopping potential against frequency is linear. So there will be linear variation, but the emission of the photoelectrons will take place at these frequencies, that is nu0 and nu0 dash. That means if the frequency of incident radiation, if this frequency of incident radiation is greater than this threshold frequency, that is nu0 or nu0 dash, at that time the photoelectric current will be set up in the circuit. Now this phi 0 and phi 0 dash will represent the photoelectric work functions for this metal A and metal B. Phi 0 and phi 0 dash, that is the photoelectric work function. And therefore from this we can say that the photocurrent and hence the number of electrons emitted will depend on the intensity of incident radiation, but not on the frequency of incident radiation. The important result will be obtained here, that the photocurrent and hence the number of photoelectrons emitted dependent on the intensity of incident radiation, but not on the frequency of incident radiation, as long as the incident frequency was larger than threshold frequency. The incident frequency must be larger than threshold frequency, and the potential of anode must be higher as compared with the potential of the cathode. So the potential of the anode must be always higher than that of potential of the cathode, as well as the frequency of incident radiation must be greater than the threshold frequency. At that time we can say that the photocurrent as well as the number of electrons, that is photoelectrons emitted from the emitter, will depend on the intensity of incident radiation, and it will be independent of the frequency of incident radiation.